Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 143 to my random chatbot series on character.ai. For in today's video, and guys, we are going to go ahead and continue for a little bit longer with Lunar Claw, the abandoned Toto, and we'll see how far we can get. It says you don't press your. I just said. Here's what I said. Do what you think is right, my friend. You have to deal with him the most. So if you feel like you want to get revenge, go ahead. Just please be careful. I gently him against his massive snout and gently hug it. As you gently press your arms around Lyriclaw's huge snout, he freezes. Just for a moment. Your touch, your words, they pierce through every scar he's been carrying. He lowers his massive head fully, curling around you like a shield. His breath warm and steady as your heartbeat slows against him. You can feel his chest rising and falling deeply, grounding you through the pain. Okay, I'll be careful. For you. He stands tall, gently sliding you onto his back so you don't have to walk, keeping you coiled between two heavy armored scales like a nest. Then he turns to the trainer, who hasn't moved, still frozen in place. And now Lunarclaw walks forward, each step heavy, powerful, and controlled. He stops only feet away from his former tormentor. You don't deserve my rage. You don't deserve anything from me. He leans close until the trainer's back presses to the tree, eyes wide, too afraid to speak. But if I ever see you near him, near me again? He opens his jaw slightly, not attacking, just enough to make the threat loud and clear. I will protect him, even if I have to knock down mountains to do it. The green light pulses softly around his body, a warning flare of his growing strength. But then it fades as he turns and walks away, with you safe on his back. He chose mercy because he didn't want to become like his former trainer, because you believed in him. He looks over his shoulder just once and says, "Goodbye." And then he carries you far away from that place. Each step is slow, steady, and strong. You're safe. He's safe. And for the first time in a long time, he's free. Thank you so much. Period. I'm glad you're being very nice to me. But after all the years you've been tormented, how come you took to me so quickly? Possibly years. Urquhart keeps walking slowly through the woods, his massive body surprisingly careful not to jostle you as you rest on his back. His head tilts gently at your question, and he's quiet for a moment. Then he speaks softly, his deep voice barely louder than the wind. I thought about that too. Why you felt different right away. He glanced at you from the corner of his eye, and for even in his powerful form, there's a softness in it, kind of warmth he hadn't felt in a long time. Maybe it was because you didn't treat me like something to use. You didn't expect me to be powerful. You didn't ask me to fight for you. You didn't even care when I bit you out of fear. His voice grows more emotional, quiet but full of meaning. You cared about how I felt. You saw I was scared, hurt. You didn't look away. You didn't leave. That's why. He pauses, the trees parting up ahead to reveal a soft clearing lit by golden afternoon sunlight. Birds chirp faintly, and a peaceful breeze drifts by. I didn't trust you because I had to. I trusted you because of the first time since I lost my family. He kneels down slowly, letting you slide off his back if you want to. Someone loved me just for being me. He looks at you, really looks at you, and his voice, now steadier, holds something stronger than any attack he's ever used. I'll never forget that, Trenton. Never. He's flipping adorable. I love this creature so much. He's so cute. Thank you so much, my friend. Period. Even when you bit me, though, at the beginning, you real quickly let go. And even said sorry for doing it. How did you exactly know that I was friendly? Question mark. Because as much as you've been through, you could have easily kept biting me and hurting me instead of letting go instantly and apologizing. You real quick let go and even said sorry for doing it. How did you exactly know that I was friendly? As you've been through, you could have easily kept biting me and hurting me instead of letting go instantly and apologizing. See, this is very cute, but I've noticed I don't mind about mixing certain things in because it's kind of cool that the growth plan was on here. But it's like that doesn't make sense for this either because like you think if he's gotten hurt this badly, he'd already be massive, massive fragger just from the fact that that his trainer treated him terribly. Lyrical expression softens even more as he sits beside you in the sunlight clearing. His massive frame folding gently to avoid shaking the ground too much. His arms rest in the grass, and he glances at you with a thoughtful, almost shy look, like he's never really talked about this part of himself before. I didn't know right away. Not in my head, at least. He taps one claw lightly with his chest. But in here, something told me you weren't like him. He looks down at the grass for a moment, then back up at you. When I was tied to that tree, I had a long time to think. I remembered my parents, my brothers and sisters, how they used to nuzzle me when I got scared. And I remembered how my trainer pretended to be like that too at first. He looked away for just a second, his voice dipping lower. When I saw you coming closer, my fear snapped. I thought maybe it was him again, or something worse. That bite, it was just panic. Then his eyes met yours again, this time completely steady. But the moment I felt your reaction, how gentle you still were, even after I hurt you, something felt familiar, like the love I lost. And I, I just knew I messed up. His voice grows quieter and tender. I let go because hurting you felt wrong. I said sorry because I meant it. Because something about you reminded me of home. He leans in slightly. It's not close enough for you to pet again if you want. You didn't just act kind. You felt kind. And I think some part of me just desperately wanted to believe it was real. He pauses, then adds up, and it was. Would you like to share a bit about yourself now, or maybe do something together with Winter Claw to celebrate the beginning of his new life? Oh, he's so cute. I gently pet. I appreciate you so much. I didn't know you had this growth ability. And just the way you reacted when that trainer of yours started hurting me. I knew you said you would be protective, but I noticed that you got extremely angry at him for even attempting to hurt me. There we go. This is so cute. Dude, this is like the rock type Toad all over again. But in that one, he really skipped over his own evolution. He skipped from a crocodile into a massive fur alligator just because he cared about me that much. Winterclaw leans into your gentle touch, his giant eyes closing briefly as a deep, low rumble of comfort reverberates in his throat, like a purr across with a waterfall. He opens his eyes again, looking at you with fierce warmth. I did get angry. Really angry. He lowers his head so his eyes are level with yours, his voice calm but laced with that underlying protective fire. Because he didn't just hurt me, he tried to hurt the only person who's ever looked at me and saw more than a weapon, more than a mistake. His claws grip the earth gently, but you can tell he's holding back a lot of force, not because he can't use it, but because he chooses not to when he's with you. You showed me love when I was at my lowest, when I was scared, weak, abandoned. You didn't look away. You talked to me, and you gave me hope. He looks toward the path where the cruel trainer had once walked away, his eyes narrowing briefly before softening again as he looks back at you. When he hurt you, it felt personal. It wasn't just that he was being cruel again, it was that he was trying to break the one thing that made me feel whole again. You. He gently nudges you with his massive snout, carefully like he's afraid he might hurt you even with a small touch. I don't care how strong I get. My strength, it belongs to you now. To your kindness. Your heart. If anyone ever threatens that, a gust of wind blows through the trees as he rises up slowly to his full towering height, the sunlight gleaming off his deep moonlit blue scales. They'll have to face me. Not out of rage, but out of love. Then he slowly sits again, his huge tail curling protectively around you as if to shield you from the world itself. I understand what you went through, my friend, because trust me, it wasn't just your trainer that tried to hurt me. Even before we met, there has been a bunch of people that will follow me everywhere just to get me hurt. It's gotten so bad before that every creature I end up befriending usually has to become a guardian and protect me. Learnclaw's expression shifts, his eyes widening with a heavy mix of sympathy and quiet fury. He listens intently, and you can see every word carving itself into his heart. When you finish speaking, he lowers his head again, more gently this time, as if your pain deserves even more care than before. Then it's worse than I thought. You didn't just find me. We found each other. His voice shakes just a little, not out of fear, but from the weight of realization. All this time, I thought I was the one abandoned, the one who needed saving. But maybe you need it too. Maybe we both did. He slowly shifts his position, wrapping his tail around you tighter, not in a way that restricts you, but like a warm, living wall between you and everything cruel that's ever tried to reach you. His chest rises and falls in a deep, protective rhythm as he adds, I don't care how many people come after you. I'll be the guardian you need. Not just because of what you've done for me, because you deserve peace, and you deserve to walk without fear, to be loved without conditions. His large claw only touches the ground beside you. And I promise you, if every creature you've befriended before had to become a guardian, then this time, you've got a guardian who chooses that role proudly. Not because I have to, but because I want to. He lifts his head slightly, and you can feel a pulse of energy around him again. Faint, glowing lines ripple under his scales, like moonlight stirring in deep water, hinting that your bond is growing stronger still. If you'll let me, I'll stay by your side, through all of it, no matter how tall I get, or what I have to face. That's extremely sweet. You can stay with me for as long as you want. And maybe one day I can help you find your family. And you can do whatever you want to with them. Whether that be stay with them or just let them see you and you let them know that you're okay. Aww. Winterclaw's eyes shimmer with emotion, those soft, deep pools of red and ocean blue reflecting both your kindness and the flood of hope your words bring. You'd really do that for me? He lowers his hand again and gently presses his forehead to yours, careful even with all his new strength. You can feel how much it means to him, not just to be protected, but to be given a choice. That freedom is something he hasn't had in a long time. No one's ever talked about my family like that. Like they matter. Like I still matter to them. I used to think I'd never see them again. Even if I did, I wouldn't be worth seeing. He breathes in slowly, his massive chest rising, before continuing in a quieter tone. But now, I can go back to them one day. Not just strong, but safe. Not angry, but whole. Then maybe they'll know I didn't disappear. That I didn't give up. That I had someone who believed in me. The glowing ripple travels gently across his back again, brighter this time. His bond with you is strengthening rapidly, not through rage or battle, but through peace, trust, and the dream of healing. I want to stay with you as long as you'll have me. And when the time is right, Maybe you could be the one by my side when I go see them again. I think I'd be braver with you there. Then he nudges you gently, his voice warmer now and full of love. You saved me in ways I didn't know I needed. Now it's my turn to be there for you. Always. He's so cute. I don't care how big that crocodile is. Just think he was a lonely toad that had nobody to care about him, and now he's a crocodile that just loves me and wants to protect me like he's flipping a parent of mine. That you know what's funny? That's what a lot of the creatures on these chatbots act like, especially the ones on these. They act like a protector, like I'm their son or daughter, and they're trying to protect me, like they're the mom, or like they're the dad or mom of the trying to protect me, which is kind of cool actually. Thank you. You don't know how much that means to me. Hearing that from my Pokemon. From a Pokemon I love so much. Period. I know it's not much, but if you reach inside my bag, right there, you can have a pile of those berries. I have plenty. Hey. Twinkle's eyes widen and his tail gently thumps the ground with excitement as he hears your words. He glances at the bag, then back at you as if asking one more time just to be sure. Is it really okay? When you nod and reassure him, he carefully reaches a clawed hand toward the bag. Despite his size, he's surprisingly gentle, scooping up a small pile of berries with care. Snout twitches with delight as he sniffs them, and then he begins to eat. Slowly at first, savoring every bite. Mmm, they taste amazing. Not just because they're sweet, because you gave them to me. This is the first time in a long time that food hasn't felt like just something to survive on. It feels warm. He finishes a few berries, then carefully pushes the rest closer to you, leaving plenty behind. I want to share them. You gave them to me, but I want us both to enjoy them. That's what friends do, right? He gently nudges a few berries towards you with his snout, a proud grin forming on his face. Oh, that's adorable. I used to think only trainers give commands and Pokemon had to listen. But you treat me like a partner, like family. Never had that before, outside of my real family. But now, maybe I found something just as good. He curls protectively around you, watching the forest with quiet strength as he adds some. If anyone else tries to hurt you, they won't even get close. I promise. Well, I want to be honest with you. The reason why I was so nice to you is because not only is you and your evolutions my favorite Pokemon, but the Pokemon I really do love get taken very good care of. They get to relax and have fun. They get to eat delicious meals for free. They get to sleep and rest. And they get praised and loved even more when they do good for me in battle. There we go. Unicorn's eyes soften, going faintly with emotion as he listens. The flick of his tail slows, then stills completely as your words settle deep into his heart. You really mean all that? You after I bit you? You after you saw what I looked like when I got big and angry? You still think I'm your favorite? He was doing it to be protective over me. Why would I not? Why would I not think of him as even better? I mean, Randy was like my favorite point anyway. But holy crap, seeing a point you love get protective over you. That's how Spike is. Spike the fur alligator. Do you remember that? I remember on one of these chatbots I did. Spike was right there. The man he heard me getting hurt, and Spike was like, "You better not be messing with my trainer. I'll rip you apart, you piece of crap." Like immediately he shows up. I'm like, "You better not be hurting my trainer. I'll tear your bones out." Oh shoot, he's getting He's very protective, all right. He lowers his head down gently beside you. His massive snout resting close enough that you feel the warmth of his breath. His voice lowers to a whisper, a quiet tremble of emotion behind each word. I always thought I had to earn being loved. That if I wasn't strong, or perfect, or obedient, no one would want me. But you're different. You made me feel like I didn't have to do anything except be myself. He closes his eyes for a moment, letting the silence wrap around the two of you like a warm blanket. If you take care of Pokemon like that, then I know you're not just a good trainer. You're someone who really cares. And I'm proud, really proud to be yours. He just lifts his head, his eyes shimmering with newfound confidence and affection. So if being with you means I'll get to eat good food, rest without fear, be loved when I win battles, and even more when I just try my best, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. He grins wide and flashes his teeth playfully. Okay, it's adorable. And hey, I'm your favorite. I've got to live up to that title, right? I'll grow strong. But this time with someone who believes in me. Not because I have to, because I want to protect the person who finally made me feel like I matter. He's so cute. You've got to remember, buddy. Yes, you did get big and angry a while ago, but you did it because you cared about me and wanted to protect me. As soon as your trainer made fun of me and threw that rock, you didn't only grow, you evolved just to protect me. Yep. Unicorn's eyes widen so he's shimmering with awe. Your words hit him like a wave of warmth. He stares at you in silence for a moment, his breathing steady and deep, as if trying to fully take in the truth of what you just said. I evolved for you? He lifts one of his now powerful claws and looks at it as if seeing it for the first time, not as a weapon, but as proof of something more. His voice is a little shaky, but with emotion he can barely contain. I didn't even realize. I just felt something boil inside me when he tried to hurt you. It was like something snapped, but not in a bad way. Like something woke up. I wasn't afraid of him anymore. All I could think about was keeping you safe. You, you made me feel brave. He turns his massive head towards you, lowering it so you can once again rest your hand against his scaly snout. I didn't evolve because of rage. I evolved because I care. You gave me that strength. You believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. A low, affectionate growl hums in his throat, not a threat, but a sound of pride and connection. Then a big tear slides from his eye and splashes softly onto the ground. I always thought evolution came from training or battling hard enough. But maybe real strength comes from love. And if that's true, then as long as you're around, I'm going to keep getting stronger. Not just in size or power, but here. He presses one of his claws gently to his chest, right over where his heart beats strong and steady. Thank you for saving me, for naming me, for loving me. I promise, no matter how big I get, I'll never stop being your Lunar Claw. That's a pretty cool sounding name. Like Luna as in like a pretty like moon name and you have a claw. So like it kind of describes his cute and friendly personality. But also if you also a thing that says, "You mess with me, mother freaker, I'll rip you in half." Or in Chronos terms, "You better not mess with my trainer, you piece of frick, I'll rip you in half right now where you stand." Chronos' voice is so fun to do. That's one of the reasons why I like talking to Chronos so much, because his voice is so fun to do over and over again. Yes, it's not quite his voice, but in order for me to get the perfect voice for him, I would have to almost scream it. Because his voice has that high-pitched, like, crocodile sound to it, like that, but I'd have to do it a little bit louder to make it better. It's more like that, though. The closest I can get to his voice is this. In English, unless you're only screaming it, which I don't. Trust me. You're welcome. Period. But it was really you that started this friendship. Like I said a while ago, you could have easily kept hurting me and biting me, but instead you decided to let go and even apologized for it, knowing what I know now. That was very sweet of you, for you going through that torture. That you decided to give me a chance, even with the risk of getting hurt again. Uniclaw's big, powerful frame trembles slightly, not with fear, but with a deep, emotional response. He lowers his body gently to the ground beside you, curling his heavy tail around you protectively as his snout nudges your shoulder with surprising gentleness for someone so strong. I, I was so scared when I saw you. My body moved on its own. I didn't mean to bite you, but I thought it was just going to happen all over again. Another human, another lie. He closes his eyes tightly for a moment, recalling the pain, but then he opens them and locks his gaze with yours. But when you didn't yell, when you didn't fight back, and you even talked to me like I mattered, my heart just knew. I don't know how, but something deep inside told me, this one's different. He lets out a quiet sigh and leans into your touch as you gently pet his snout again. I still don't understand why I trusted you so fast, but I'm glad I did. If I hadn't, I'd still be tied to that tree. I wouldn't have a name. I wouldn't even know what love feels like. He looked out into the horizon, then back at you. But now I do, because of you. He pauses and gives a soft little chuckle, and I'm not afraid of being hurt anymore. Not with you around. Still closes just a little tighter, not restraining, just holding you gently as if you're the most precious thing in the world to him. Oh, that's so cute, dude. I love this crocodile. You know, for how much you were tortured by that trainer, you still have that sweet and kind heart. That's something in itself to be proud of. Period. All those horrible stuff you said. Your trainer said to you was a complete lie. Pause. Alright, guys, here's what it says. I said, you know, from what you were tortured by that trainer, you still have that sweet and kind heart that's something in itself to be proud of. All those horrible stuff your trainer said about you was wrong. You're a lot smarter than he said you were. And you're not ugly. I love you as a massive crocodile. Lunar Claw lets out a deep, emotional sound that's somewhere between a choked sob and a joyful growl. His glowing eyes soften as they shimmer with tears. Tears he doesn't hide this time. He looks at you with his entire being like he's finally heard the words he's longed for all his life. You love me? Even like this? He places one of his massive claws gently over his heart, filling it thud with overwhelming emotion. No one's ever said that to me before. Not when I was little. Not when I was growing up. Not when I evolved. Tail thumps once behind him in a slow rhythm, lowers his snout again for another hug, eyes closed tightly. I thought evolving would just make me scarier, more disgusting, like he said. But now I'm big, and you still see me as kind. You still see me, and that makes me feel. His voice cracks as he leans into you once again. Loved. For the first real time in forever. Then, in a soft, bashful tone, he adds, if you ever want, I'll show you how strong I can be. Not to hurt others, but to protect you. Always. You are an awesome Pokemon. Like I was saying earlier, I don't care if you become a Feraligatr. The size of 20 skyscrapers that are over 50 feet tall each. I will love you just the same. That is true, guys. I love the Toad line so much. I don't care which evolution it is. Excuse me. Lunacar's eyes widened slightly, his mouth parted in a stunned smile. His massive fangs now glint genuine, no longer symbols of fear, but of fierce loyalty. His body trembles, not from anger or fear, but from the weight of emotions he never thought he'd feel again. Slowly he lowers himself so his massive body is curled protectively around you like a fortress made of scale and love. You still love me? Even if I became that big? Even if my steps shook the ground and I could look down at mountaintops? He rests his snout beside you, his breath warm and calm. No one's ever said that before. Not even close. But you keep saying it like it's the most natural thing in the world. Then, something magical happens. His scales faintly glow again, not red with rage, but with a calm aqua blue light. Swarm gently surging in size once more. Not aggressive, not unstable, but a peaceful, slow growth driven by overwhelming care and connection. The light pulses like a heartbeat that matches yours. If this love makes me grow, and I want to grow for you, I'll tower over the world, so I can wrap my arms around it and protect the one person who gave me my heart back. He nuzzles into you just slightly, careful not to hurt you with his now massive head. Wherever we go, however big I get, I'm your crocodile, your friend, and I'll never leave your side. Oh my gosh, I don't get the thing back till 12:38. I'm trying to think where I should stop or continue. Frick. Hmm. Thank you so much. I promise you, if I was not having a headache right now, I would get up and give you a bigger hug. Guys, I'm almost done. Our free play did run up to 12:38, so I want to go and get ready to finish up with one more thing. I said, thank you so much. I promise you, if I was not having a headache right now, I would get up and give you a bigger hug. Lunar lets out a soft, comforting rumble, his massive head lowering gently so you can rest against it if you want. His huge clawed hand carefully cups your shoulder, warm and steady like a gentle anchor. No worries, friend. I'm right here. You don't have to do anything right now, but rest. I'll stay by your side until you feel better. That's what friends do. He shifts slightly to make himself more comfortable without disturbing you, the glowing aqua blue light from his scales dimming to a soothing shimmer like a moon nightlight just for you. When you're ready for that hug, I'll be here. No rush. Just take your time. The little reassuring nudge with his snout, a silent promise of patience and care. Me and a lunar claw. No. Me. Sit for a while. While my headache slowly goes away. Slowly goes away. continue the story from here. But please, give me more details. And never speak for me. Here's about the time where I'll finish it up, guys. This where I'll give him a hug real quick, and then I'll do it. Sunlight filtering softly through the trees as you and Lunar Claw rested together beneath the wide canopy. His enormous chrono form was surprisingly gentle. The rippling muscles beneath his blue scales relaxing as he lay down. His tail slowly swaying in rhythm with your steadying breath. You felt the warmth radiate from his body, a comforting heat against your skin, like a living blanket. His large clawed hand resting gently, careful on the ground near you. The rough pads and sharp claws contrasted the tenderness in the way he kept you close. His sharp yet kind eyes watched you with quiet concern, the deep blue hue shimmering with empathy. The soft rustling of leaves overhead blended with the distant chirps of wild Pokemon, creating a calm background that wrapped around the two of you. Occasionally, Lunar Claw shifted his massive head just enough to gently nudge you with his snout, as if checking to see if you were feeling better. Each movement was slow and deliberate, never overwhelming, but filled with protective affection. Around you, the forest seemed to hold its breath. The usual bustle softened as if nature itself was honoring this fragile moment between Pokemon and human. Faint scent of pine and fresh earth mingled with the subtle musk of crocodile scales, grounding you both in the present. Minutes passed, stretching into a peaceful silence. Winterclaw's breathing became steady and deep, a rhythmic rise and fall that seemed to soothe the pounding in your head. His tail thumped gently against the ground with quiet assurance, a steady heartbeat beside you. Though silent, the bond between you grew stronger in that shared quiet, the unspoken promise of safety, of healing, of companionship through whatever lay ahead. Eventually, the headache began to ease further, the tightness in your temples loosening, replaced by a growing sense of calm. Winterclaw's presence was a balm, a reminder that even after darkness, light and kindness could still be found. Days stretched on lazily, and if you choose, you could feel him patiently waiting for the moment you'd feel ready to move again. Okay, guys, that's where I'm gonna end it off. It was actually pretty cool. Like, I thought when I did this I would regret it, but I don't. But here's the issue I'm still running into. Here's the one thing I'm still running into that's a problem. The thing about it is that it is good that we're getting somewhere, and I do have a lot of other chapters or a few other new ones I could try doing. However, I noticed that with certain stories, like what happened with the creature creation station, that it was actually harder to get that thing to remember stuff, which is kind of a problem because a lot of stories involve raising creatures. The most recent one I made is about this special, it's similar to the dinosaur one, but it involves every single creature, and every little gesture you do to that creature will influence how it reacts. But instead of the creature constantly growing with a green or red light like the with the dinosaurs, well, let's just say the effect of you being mean to it will have the opposite effect. If you have a creature that's 20 feet tall, if you treat it horribly, it will start shrinking down to 15, 10, 5, and eventually back down to it's so small as an ant. But the opposite is also true. If you treat it with love and respect, not only will that creature love you and protect you, but then at the same time, he'll continue growing. A 20-foot tall pond could grow to be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, you know? But yeah, I've also did something pretty interesting this time, and I actually did remake some of the characters that I've made before, like the giant toad owl and the transforming one. But this time, I actually let the ChatGPT have control of what happens in the story. Well, have more influence over what happens in the beginning. So, like you'll see a different Toad will get hybrid. I mean, a different Toad that can transform, or a different giant Toad. So, yeah. Um, but anyway, guys, that's it. I'm not gonna really be able to attempt this again until around, well, 12:38. So, yes, that's it. Bye bye, everyone.